This is CBC Here and Now.
Newfoundland is going to have to decide what kind of university does it want. And is it going to have the infrastructure that it needs to run a 21st century national class university with a comprehensive set of programs or not?
Tonight we are live from Memorial University, where the Board of Regents is downsizing and bringing in big cuts.
And the university president says a quality education costs quality money. But first,
I don't trust my own judge of character now. When I meet people, I second guess what their intentions are.
I tend to have days where sometimes I don't want to get out of bed, and sometimes I don't know why.
He spied on his co-workers while they changed in dressing rooms at the Good Life gym.
So why do the victims feel like they're on trial?
Good evening, I'm Anthony Germain.
And I'm Debbie Cooper. Two women who were the victims of voyeurism had a hard time believing what they heard in court this morning.
They say they felt like the defense put the blame on them. Here Now's Glenn Payette reports.
In 2016, Alex Seymour videotaped 3 female co-workers at different times as they were getting undressed. They all worked at Good Life Fitness in Mount Pearl, which is where the offenses happened. Seymour's lawyer, Ellen O'Gorman, told the court that this was a crime of opportunity and that it was unlikely Seymour would be in this position again. That didn't sit well with 2 of his victims who were at court.
To say that he was in a place of opportunity to do something like that, I have 4 beautiful boys at home, and I would never, ever expect either one of them to even think that they have the right to do something like that, no matter where they are.
When his lawyer mentioned that, he's just a 22-year-old boy, and it was a crime of opportunity because there's women around that get changed, is absolutely ridiculous.
O'Halloran says this is especially hard to take because they trusted Seymour.
This man or child came into my home while my husband and I were gone because we trusted him that much to take care of things for us while we were on vacation. And for her, a woman, to get up and say that it was a crime of opportunity, that he made a bad decision, that was not a bad decision. That was planned, and that was done just the way he wanted it to be done.
Both women say what Seymour did has changed them.
I don't feel safe in a lot of environments that you would naturally feel safe in before. I typically would always think the best of everyone, and I don't think that all the time anymore, and that's upsetting.
When I did eventually tell my children, because they do know now, their response after their sadness for me was, no wonder you've been so mad sometimes and just not yourself.
In court, Seymour apologized to his family and to his victims for what he's put them through. The Crown says Seymour should get 3 to 6 months in prison. His lawyer says he should get a suspended sentence or a conditional discharge. Either option for the defense would mean no jail time. He'll be sentenced May 28th. Glenn Payette, CBC News, St. John's.
We're downsizing. That's the reality these days at Memorial University, according to President Gary Kachanowski. The MUN Board of Regents was set to vote this afternoon on a budget for the current year, and the theme is one of cuts in positions and programs. It's all related to less money coming from the government and a continued tuition freeze for local students. Here Now's Terry Roberts has been following this story today. He's joining us live from the MUN campus. So Terry, what is the latest?
Well, yes, Debbie, I'm here at Gushu Hall, where the MUN Board of Regents just a short while ago adopted a new financial blueprint for 2017-18, and as you can see, they're starting to emerge here right now. And as expected, that new blueprint, well, that's very painful. The university is going to have to find $9 million in savings for the current fiscal year, and some areas of the university are going to be hit very hard.
Here's how it breaks down. More than $5.4 million from academic programs, $1 million from finance and administration, Grenfell, Marine Institute, all being squeezed by cuts. Since 2012, more than $30 million in budget reductions at MUN as government slowly tightens the purse strings.
we're downsizing. We're decreasing, I think, people and programs and what goes on in programs.
$3 million in attrition this year. That's on top of previous cuts in past years.
There's dozens for sure, yeah. We're already at probably, I would guess what I'd say we're at 80 or 90 already that we could point to over the last 2 years for sure, over 100 perhaps.
Belt tightening, year after year. Is it affecting the quality of education?
I think we're at a pretty important inflection point.
But some areas will not be touched. Things like libraries, graduate fellowships, and entrance scholarships, safe for now. So is the long-standing tuition freeze for Newfoundland and Labrador students, some of the lowest rates in the country, a touchy and controversial subject.
We're always looking out for our most vulnerable students, and those are the ones who are either just slightly in the doors or aren't able to get into the doors of the university because of the amount of tuition that they have to pay to be in here.
New international and Canadian students will be paying 30% more in September, increases that were announced last year. New student and infrastructure fees are also back for another year. And it could have been worse. A shortfall in the pension plan of about $8 million has been deferred for another year.
There is simply no way that we would be able to absorb that without significant restructuring.
Kaczynowski has been president since 2011. He says the university has less money today than it did when he started. And still no real plan to address crumbling infrastructure. It's all setting the stage for some serious discussion about the university's future.
Newfoundland's going to have to decide what kind of university does it want. And is it going to have the infrastructure that it needs to run a 21st century national class university with a comprehensive set of programs or not?
So essentially what the president is saying there is, look, you can have cheap tuition, but that's likely going to result in a substandard university. Now, as for that long-standing tuition freeze for local students, well, the committee that helped do the budget for this year says that's just not sustainable. It says tuition rates will have to go up across the board by about 3.6% annually just to keep up with inflation. But look, that's a debate we're not going to have right now because tuition rates for homegrown students, well, they're not going to budge for now. Reporting live from the St. John's campus of Memorial University, I'm Terry Roberts for Here and Now.
It's the newest town in the province and now the newest town council.
The residents would like to see a playground.
An old Milton School in that area that we would like to get.
We like to be able to avail of provincial grants.
I'll show you what lies ahead for Georgesbrook Milton coming up on Here and Now.
I saw on your website that you offer prepaid funeral services.
That price is obviously locked in and that money goes into a trust account.
2 funeral homes with suspended licenses aren't allowed to take money in trust for prepaid funerals, so why did they tell our undercover reporter that they would? CBC investigates. That's in 10 minutes.
Well, Jiffy Cabs wants to help Neighborhood Watch crack down on crime, and St. John City Council is on board. Councillors unanimously approved the proposal this week. If someone feels threatened or needs help getting out of a situation, people can flag a cab and hop in. Jiffy would be the first cab company to join the St. John's Neighborhood Watch program. It hopes the move will change the way some people view the taxi industry and that other companies will hop on board.
I mean, with so many eyes on the road, 85 cars, with more to come, we cover a lot of ground in that time, and we see a lot. We do additional driver training, sensitivity training, and as far as Jiffy Cabs is concerned, our hiring practices are, some of the best in the city. We do encourage other taxi companies, if they do feel responsible and they do want to get involved, is to contact Neighborhood Watch.
All right, Chris Hollett there had the shades standing by the parkway, nice blue sky, another doozy.
Yeah.
Lovely sunshine. Cool, but
cool.
I'm not complaining.
Take the sun.
Yeah, take the sun.
Take the sun anytime this time of year, but we do need some showers this time of year to green things up and help further the garden's progress. And we are going to see some of those showers coming in over the next 24 hours. Have a look at your weather on the way headlines, where we have, again, some increasing clouds, some showers rolling through tonight and in through tomorrow. The good news is things clear out as we roll through tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Temperatures will fall through your Friday, though. That said, some sunshine setting up for Saturday, so the clear out and the cool down. But yeah, we are going to be seeing some sunshine for Saturday. And then we're talking about an improving forecast for Sunday. We've been talking about a potential system working in on Sunday. Still looking at some precipitation, but not nearly as much as we were talking about 24, especially 48 hours ago, as forecast models are downplaying that threat more and more and more. Here is a quick outlook of the next couple of days. There's the rain that rolls through tonight. Tomorrow, it's lingering showers along this cold front. On the other side of the front is where we see temperatures falling. Labrador City first. Happy Valley Goose Bay will see temperatures fall into the afternoon. Corner Brook will also see temperatures fall tomorrow afternoon. You folks all along the west coast, northern peninsula, into central and eastern Newfoundland, the wind doesn't shift really until through the mid-late afternoon and into the evening hours. And then again, as I said, it is a pretty nice Saturday. We'll talk more about your nitty-gritty details for that. And here's this little trough line, and that is about it now. A few flurries on the menu for Labrador, perhaps some flurries mixed with some showers across the island for Sunday, and we'll break down that Mother's Day forecast in detail with the next 3 days coming up in just a few minutes. Anthony?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, the votes have been cast and the winners declared. Now, the newest town council in the province is getting to work. Here now, as Garrett Barry takes us to Georges Brook, Milton.
Meet Ellie, a full 8 weeks old today, the newest arrival in Newfoundland's newest town. We couldn't ask her, but we could ask her mom. What does the future hold for Georges Brook, Milton?
I hope to see some positive changes here in Georges Brook. The new water system would be great, and maybe a playground for the kids, and skating rinks, and all good stuff like that to come, hopefully.
She cast her vote on Tuesday night. So did 93-year-old John Stanley, one of the oldest men in town. The results? A new mayor and deputy mayor getting to work.
Not that long ago, for the past 3-4 years, we've had half of our community that often went without water. So we just had phase 1 of the water improvement infrastructure, and phase 1 brought water from Georges Brook into Milton, but we still got a lot to do with the infrastructure within our community.
It's for anybody of survival within your community. Water is the biggest thing. When you lose it, you miss it the most.
Town water comes from here. Everyone's connected now, but council wants more fire hydrants and a new water line. That's just the start.
And we just want to capture all the history within the town and show it to the people that is not from the town, and create a tourism industry within the town and make the town thrive.
There's lots to do, and there's promises to keep. Read his lips. No new taxes.
So we don't envision any more, and we don't need any further taxation. What we did in January of 2016 under the local service district will see us certainly through.
Ellie's here because her dad grew up here. Could this town become a place where she would want to stay?
I'm not sure where she's going to go in life. I'm not from here originally, so we'll see what happens in 20 years' time. But I think that with all the changes that are hopefully coming, that it would be a beautiful place for her to stay.
Garrett Barry, CBC News, Georges Brook, Milton.
This is obviously locked in, and that money goes into a trust account.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously,
CBC Investigates finds 2 funeral homes appear to be selling prepaid funerals when their licenses have been suspended.
Our investigation raises questions around their current business practices. That's next.
In a province where more people are dying each year than are being born, funerals are big business. There's lots of money to be made in death. But the industry of selling funeral packages is regulated. Tonight, we're learning that some businesses aren't licensed to accept funds in advance, but that isn't stopping them from accepting money from people who are looking for pre-planned funerals. Here Now's Jen White has been looking into this CBC Investigate story. So Jen, what did you discover?
Well, we found out that the province suspended prepaid funeral licenses for 5 businesses back in 2016. And that was after they didn't provide financial audits for multiple years. And that means they can't accept money in trust for prepaid funerals. The websites for those funeral homes all have plan ahead sections, and they list pre-arrangement or pre-planning as an option. The websites point to the benefits of paying for your funeral now, so I went undercover to find out just what exactly they're offering to the public.
Funeral home.
Hi, I saw on your website that you offer prepaid funeral services, is that right?
Yes.
To prepay, how does that work?
Money is usually put in trust or into an insurance, whichever way the family prefer, until the time of passing.
Obviously, our goal is not to put anybody in a financial strain.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you choose to pay out your funeral, there's different options.
And then that does go into a trust.
That's correct.
Yeah. Service NL says any funeral homes with suspended licenses are not allowed to take money in trust. Terry Green owns 3 of the businesses on that suspension list. 2 of them said they would take the cash in trust. We asked him to respond to our investigation, but he told CBC no comment.
I should basically concentrate on what we do best, that's serve families.
Yeah, you can come in and we get you in touch with an insurance agent and you put all your money in trust with that insurance.
The other funeral homes going through insurance say they're not breaking any rules. Serenity Funeral Home is owned by Rex Blunden. His wife told me they sell pre-planned funerals and clients are contacted by a licensed insurance agent.
Really, it's a client's choice. And to pre-arrange, you do not have to, financially exchange any money, right?
Just give me a little bit more. An employee for Orum's Funeral Home said they do take money in trust, but owner Paul Orum is adamant his business goes through an insurance agent. The former provincial cabinet minister says the employee I spoke with, his mother, got it wrong.
She just mixed it up because that's just not the way it works. We have been doing that for years. Anybody can even look at our accounting and our books and see that we don't do any pre-arranged funerals in a trust account. There's nothing here that's that we're hiding or we're not doing right or anything like that. We have followed everything to a T.
So Jen, we're talking about funerals that are prepaid, pre-arranged, pre-planned, is that right?
Yeah, exactly, Anthony. And while those terms kind of sound similar, Paul Orum says they don't actually mean the same thing. He says prepaid means paying for a funeral up front ahead of time, while pre-arranged means someone makes the arrangements for a funeral, like picking out a casket or what kind of service they'd like. And he says there may never be any money involved, or the person may already have insurance, or they may opt to go with an insurance agent to get a policy. And Orum says that's what his business suggests that people do. Now, Service NL says these companies are allowed to advertise for pre-arrangement, but they have to follow the rules and regulations around insurance.
And this recently came up as an issue within the industry, right?
It did. Just a few months ago, the province sent out a bulletin to funeral homes saying that operators shouldn't provide insurance services unless they're a licensed agent and that they can't solicit the general public. Overall, Service NL says it monitors how funeral homes conduct their business and it will investigate any potential violations of the Prepaid Funeral Services Act or regulations. Anthony?
Now, there are differences between prepaid and pre-arranged funerals, and the other details, you can get that in our web story. That's at cbc.ca/NL.
Say that they enjoy it and it doesn't feel like they're in jail, they say.
There's a tiny wood shop with a view on the banks of Kitty Vitty Lake. What makes this one unique is that it's a prison. That story coming up.
Welcome back. Well, I don't know about you, but I was looking at my garage and there's a lawnmower next to the snowblower.
Yeah.
And I look at the lawn and I think I need the mower, but I don't feel confident enough to put the blower away. It's this May 2-4 conundrum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not until the May long weekend is done, right?
Yeah, and you're saying it's going to get chilly. Sunday's Mother's Day. A lot
That's
of
right.
people have plans.
And some good news for Mother's Day is the forecast keeps improving, which is kind of a rarity in this neck of the woods. Sometimes it does get a little worse as we get closer, but certainly looking better and better for Mother's Day. I think we will have some showers and some flurries in the mix, but nothing too significant. And everybody should be able to get out at least for a little while. Speaking of snowblowers, still going to need them, or they'll just snowmobile right over top like they do most of the year in Nain, Hopedale, and Makkovik. Special weather statements are in effect for later tomorrow into Saturday, talking about 10 to 15 centimeters or more along that North Labrador coast. That is thanks to that latest system that is rolling in, and we also have wreck house wind warnings in effect for this evening. Gusts in the 110, maybe 120 range through this evening up to around midnight, and then winds will start to subside after midnight as the winds shift and into tomorrow morning as the winds become a little more southwesterly. Now the system itself is still off to the south. This is what's going to be bringing in those strong southeasterly wreck house winds tonight. Holding hands with this system and a cold front that's moving in from the west. That'll be the precip for Labrador, and those two systems will combine to bring everybody a little taste of some precipitation over the next 24 hours. Now, watch your timeline. We'll cool off through this evening, and then as this next system rolls in with its rain through the overnight, temperatures are going to shoot up and start to rise before morning. And in fact, by 7, 8 a.m., as we're all heading out the door, you're certainly going to need the umbrella, the raincoat, the rain boots for the kids. But it's going to be mild. We're talking about double-digit temperatures from St. John's to Corner Brook. But again, showers on the menu for everybody. Starting mild in the southeast parts of Labrador. Pretty cool start in the west. Temperatures -2 to -3, I think, around that time. Winds again becoming southwesterly here across the west coast of the island, then westerly. And then again, timeline. Well, everybody gets into the double digits across the island, and then temperatures will start to fall as the skies clear from west to east. Those showers will continue to push offshore. We're into the single digits into the afternoon along the west coast. We'll mix back to flurries in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, perhaps Cartwright, staying shower chances in the southeast. And I think the shower chances into the afternoon are more showers and drizzle along that south coast. Sunshine potential for St. John's up the northeast coast into the afternoon. Better chance of sun will be along the west coast where those skies will be clearing. And into Labrador again, cool air really funneling into the west. Temperatures will fall into the -5, -6 range into the afternoon. Mild in the southeast. Some pretty breezy winds here along the coast of Labrador, talking about 80, 90 km/h gusts. So certainly stormy there, hence the special weather statement. Saturday certainly will be a little on the breezy side, a little cooler. Temperatures still, though, in that 6 to 9 degree range across the island. Mainly cloudy skies across Labrador. Chance of flurries in the west. But overall, Saturday is not looking too bad. And Sunday is looking better, as I mentioned. This little trough line is going to work through. That's about it. No big system coming through. An area of high pressure is going to keep that off to the south. And so as a result, really, it's just a few shower chances, mainly into the afternoon on the island. 6 to 9, maybe 10 degrees with some sun again in the mix, primarily in the morning hours. And in Labrador, those flurry chances in the morning and then some gradual clearing. So some good news here. We'll talk more about this and, of course, your long-range forecast right through the next 7 coming up. Anthony?
And it would be me. Thanks, Ryan, though. Well, when it comes to ranking Canadian cities, St. John's can find itself anywhere in the mix, depending on the list. But a new index from Toronto-based enterprise Youthful Cities has St. John's way down. They say it's the worst city for young people between 15 and 29, and the best is Toronto. Here Now's Megan McCabe has been looking into what that's all about. She's live now from sunny downtown St. John's. So, Megan, why is this city last?
In terms of walkability, diversity, available jobs, concerts, a good transit system, this city just doesn't offer what Toronto does, according to the index. And really, it makes sense. All the top-ranking youthful cities are big cities. Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. But when people here in St. John's hear that, they say that this city has a whole lot more to offer. How you see a city is all about how you frame it.
Beautiful. The weather is very dynamic.
Michael Meehan and his wife moved to the city from upstate New York back in September when his wife started at MUN.
I feel like there is a lot going here as far as jobs for young people. There's a lot of art, there's a lot of culture going on. So I feel like it's maybe underrated as far as that age bracket is concerned.
He says the people are his favorite part about the city. Meehan works at Newfoundland Canvas, where 29-year-old owner Adam Kavanagh says the people, the culture, the scenery, he's proud to be based in St. John's.
I think that my favorite part of living in Newfoundland is just the connection throughout the community.
The people seem to be the city's biggest asset.
You do make a lot of connections here. So like, for example, I'm really into like the music scene. So I know a lot of like, MUN music professors. I've worked with a lot of like music programs and stuff. So you get to know everybody here. But in Toronto, where it's so big, I don't think you can meet everybody.
Okay, so you probably can't meet everyone in St. John's either, but a barbershop could be a place to start.
When I even made that decision to move here, my uncle was like, no. you will not even find one black person in Newfoundland, so don't go. And coming here, I was a bit surprised to see this place is quite diverse. We have a lot of people from all over. So it's good. My decision to come here was not bad. It's been good.
A couple of years back, it wasn't as diverse as it is now. It's actually growing rapidly, right? Like we have a couple of Middle Eastern restaurants, we have South Asian restaurants. So it will grow, and there's a lot of room to grow.
Let's take a look at the cost of living. Anyone moving here can get a one-bedroom apartment for less than $1,000 a month. In Toronto, the average asking price is $1,800. All right, so St. John's is ranking pretty high with these folks. The people are great, the rents are more reasonable, it's becoming more diverse. So what's the drawback here? What could possibly put us at the bottom of the list? Yes, transit.
Metro is not very helpful here, but beside that, people are too friendly. So lot often you get a lift from anyone. You know what I mean?
Of course, everyone loves St. John's when it's sunny, maybe not so much when it's miserable and gray. But all those people don't mind the weather, and they're all under 40, I should add. They all say that St. John's is where it's at. The group Happy City St. John's is working with the city on a whole new approach to the problem of getting around this old town. But let's be honest, and as someone who has lived in both cities, I can confidently say you can't really compare St. John's to Toronto. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Both are good in their own ways. Reporting live for Here and Now in St. John's, I'm Megan McCabe.
As part of Corrections Week in this province, we were invited behind the walls of Her Majesty's Penitentiary. The event was meant to highlight a program that's churning out items for the outside. Here Now's Ariana Kellen takes us inside.
For a small group of inmates, this is work for 5 hours out of the day. A carpentry shop with a view.
These are the picnic tables we're doing right now. This is the project we're at right now. These are for the Pippi Park.
Correctional officers Steve Martin and Andy Codner supervise, guide, and teach the small group of selected inmates, usually low risk and often talented.
Oh, I'm not surprised that some got real good talents, actually.
You do have some fellas that are pretty crafty here and that can do a lot of things. And you have other guys that come down and you know, even if they learn how to paint or plaster.
No one could say for sure how long the shop has been around, but it's fair to say it's old, like the institution around it.
Lots of history here in these cabinets.
Carpentry shop has been here long before us. And I mean, even if you go through some of the tools, they're They're, you know, could be 50 or 60 years old, some of the older stuff there.
The wooden pieces are just about everywhere. The tables at the Don Dunphy Inquiry were built within the walls of the penitentiary. You may have sat in one of their chairs on Water Street, similar to these that are on display in a newly opened wellness garden on the other side of the prison walls. Both correctional officers love building things themselves and have learned a thing or two from their mentorees.
When they come here, they're just not coming down here for the sake of coming down here. You can see the effort that they're putting in making things. They're not rushing it along, they're taking their time, so it shows that they got pride in what they're doing.
Their next big project, constructing furniture for the upcoming Muskrat Falls Inquiry. All skills they hope the inmates will transfer to the outside. Ariana Kelland, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, the Justice Minister also took part in today's tour to reveal that wellness garden, and that's where he was asked for an update on changes to the prison's segregation policy. That was announced back in October. Some recommendations have been implemented, but Parsons says there are issues with space.
We just talked space issues, basically what it comes down to. So we're still working through that, but I have full faith in both the superintendent, the captains here, and our staff all across the province. I mean, these are people that are with inmates 24/7, and so they're doing the best they can, often in trying circumstances. So certainly I'm willing to work with them and do what we can, but some of the challenges we face go outside of implementing policy. We're talking about needing new bricks and mortar.
The Atlantic Boy Choir continues to expand. Founded just 2 years ago, it now has over 120 members in 4 choral centres right across the province: St. John's, Clarenville, Corner Brook, and now Stephenville.
One knows that this is a singing province with a strong singing culture. But there was never here a choir of only boys and young men. We are also the only provincial choir in Canada, and we are really glad that our 2 concerts that we will be presenting here in St. John's will feature all of the boys from all across the province, from all our choral centers, and they will get to work with some phenomenal artists.
Now, the choir, which has members who are aged from 4 to 22 years of age, they've got 2 big shows this fall and winter in St. John's. In November, they have a show entitled Christmas Truce that comes with a guest conductor from Germany. And in January, they have a gala concert with 5-time Grammy winners, the Swingles.
Well, there are 2 new members of the Order of Canada from Newfoundland and Labrador. Autism advocate, nurse, and former mayor of Portugal Cove St. Philip's, Joyce Churchill, was invested into the order this morning in Ottawa. Churchill has a son living with autism. She played an integral role in founding the Autism Society and the Elaine Dobbins Centre. Alan Doyle was also made a member of the Order of Canada. Doyle is, of course, best known as the frontman for Great Big Sea, but he was also recognized for his charitable work across the province and the country. Earlier today, he was interviewed on CBC's News Network by Suhana Marchand. She asked him what it was like to meet the new Governor General, Julie Payette.
What a lady. I mean, what a, what a rock star. It's like he's one of those people that feels like he can do anything. We actually met years ago when she had just came back from space. And, in case you were starting to feel good about what you were doing, she just came back from space. And much to my delight and the other guys in Great Big Sea, she came to a gig and presented us with a plaque of our play record that was one of a dozen or so that she was allowed to take into space.
Cool.
She took our tunes into space, and I was like, I'd be forever grateful to her for that.
Well, you've likely heard Sunday night on CNN, Anthony Bourdain is Newfoundland bound. In his show Parts Unknown, the celebrity chef visits St. John's, hangs out with Jeremy Charles of Raymond's fame, and has a good old-fashioned boil-up. One thing Bourdain didn't nail, though, the pronunciation of Newfoundland, but we'll forgive him.
So here we are, boys, at the ass end of the universe. Rural, backwards ass, country, middle of nowhere, Newfoundland, eating one of the finest meals
in the North Atlantic
in North America. Because let's face it, Newfoundland is incredible.
Newfoundland. Was that Newfoundland? Understand Newfoundland? Should we send him a message of some kind?
I think he's probably gotten the message by now. I heard Todd Perrin earlier today saying, look at all the advertising we're getting out of this show.
Yeah, it's true.
Give him a break.
There is a bit of issue forgiveness, though. As part of the promotion for Sunday's show, CNN tweeted out an article about embracing Newfies, yes, embracing Newfies as they are.
No surprise, some took offense to that term. The show's since backtracked, saying, we apologize for any offense and will stick to Newfoundlanders going forward.
Coming up in here now, I'm going to introduce you to Vanessa. She's just come back from the prairies, a bowling champion. Take it away. Ooh, nice. Welcome back. In broadcasting, two of the toughest people to interview are athletes and children. So a child athlete? Especially challenging. But how could we resist the story of a 10-year-old Newfoundland bowler who won every single one of her games at Canada's Youth Bowling Championships held in Regina? Well, we couldn't. So we invited the new national bantam champion. Her name is Vanessa Elliott-Lynch. We invited her to meet up at the lanes of Plaza Bowl in St. John's. Vanessa, what happened in Saskatchewan?
I won first, and I got a gold medal.
Right there, I can see it right here. Beautiful. And you won a lot of games.
Yeah.
How many?
10.
10 out of 10?
Oh, well, actually 11 out of 11.
11 out of 11. Sorry, I didn't want to underestimate. So you won all your games. Have you ever done that before?
No.
How did it feel?
Good.
So how nerve-wracking was it to watch your daughter bowling in Saskatchewan?
Very stressful.
Well, must be she's here in game number 1, game number 2, game number 3, and then she starts winning, she gets up to the game 10. The last couple of games must have been really stressful.
Very.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
So how did you get her involved in bowling?
She just wanted to go bowling one day, and I just signed her up for YBC, and she's been at it now 6 years.
And now she's champion.
Now she's national champion, yep.
What was it that drove her to win? Because it's very rare for a young bowler to win all their games.
She strives to win no matter what she does.
Bit stubborn?
At times she can be, yeah.
Where did she get that from?
Her father.
What do you like about bowling?
Playing games.
You like seeing all the pins come down? You said something about smashing the pins before?
Killing the pins, yeah.
What do you mean killing the pins? That sounds violent.
Hitting them down.
Ooh, nice. You mentioned that she really wanted to get something that's hanging in this bowling alley.
Yes, she wanted one of those plaques that are over there. She's been striving for that. Like she wanted to go for two medals. She didn't get the first one, so she wanted to go for the second one. And she wanted to come home with a banner for herself.
Right.
And put one up here in Plaza.
Well, it's quite something for someone 10 years of age to win a championship in anything.
Very.
Win all the games. How proud were you after this?
Very
all
proud.
Yeah.
Very proud. Very, very, very proud of her.
So, Vanessa, short on words, big on strikes.
Yeah, that's the main thing I think that she would want. And congratulations, bowling champ, Vanessa.
Yeah, she was driven.
Staff at the Port of Stephenville feel new docking rules could shut them down. They say regulators change the way all boats come into port, and the new high cost will deter business. But the government says that's not the case. Here Now's Colleen Connors explains.
This is what the port in Stephenville looked like just last weekend. 6 ships use the port each year. This winter, the Atlantic Pilotage Authority, or APA, requested 2 tugs to pilot 2 different vessels into port. Ed Strickland's 60-year-old tugboat was too old and not strong enough to do the job safely. Strickland believes if all vessels now require 2 tugs, that would be a very high cost to customers.
Well, if we have to bring in a second tug from outside the province, that second tug is going to cost in excess of $100,000 per vessel. And this is going to put the Port of Stephenville into a competitive disadvantage and, in my opinion, shut down the Port of Stephenville.
He thinks the recent 2-tug requirements by APA is a sign that they want out.
The APA, like any Crown corporation, they need revenue to survive. With only 6 vessels here a year, there's a limited amount of revenue for the APA here, or anyone.
The APA says they never stated Stephenville as a 2-tug port. In a release to CBC, the regulators say every vessel is different, and a tug with sufficient power is required to safely assist several vessels maneuvering the dock.
We would hope do not have any restriction, but because we are not being communicated with, we do not know what APA regulations will be.
Staff at the port worry if a second tug is requested again, it will stop potential companies from coming here. Businesses have shown interest in developing Indian Head and expanding the fish harvest next to the port.
I hope it does. It would make all the difference for this port and for the economic development in the area.
The Atlantic Pilotage Authority says they do not favor one port over the other and encourage business growth, but will emphasize safety over everything else. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Stephenville.
Safe in a lot of environments that you would naturally feel safe in before.
We trusted him that much. That was planned and that was done just the way he wanted it to be done.
He hid a camera at the gym and spied on his female colleagues.
Now they're speaking out about the impact of that crime. Let's meet our young athlete of the day, someone who stays active all year round.
In the summer, 8-year-old Nicholas Newell, who's from Bourdain, plays baseball with St. John's Minor Baseball.
And during the winter, enjoys hockey with the Northeast Eagles Minor Hockey. Congrats on being our young athlete of the day.
So it's a nice medal. A lot of young kids with medals on the show tonight.
Definitely.
Good to see.
Definitely. Okay, weather-wise, not much time. Wanted to recap the weekend and have a little look ahead. Have a look at the cool air pushing back through Canada today after what's been a warm one. 30s in Winnipeg earlier this week, back down to 10 degrees. And 31 in Nashville, where the Winnipeg Jets will take on, of course, the Preds in Game 7 tonight. Go Jets go. We'll cheer for our last standing Canadian team. Now, in terms of the weather setup, area of high pressure helping to bring that cooler air mass in. We are watching, again, a pair of lows that are moving into our neck of the woods in the short term. But that area of high pressure is going to help to bring us a nicer looking weekend, really, than what was originally looking set a couple of days ago. So no doubt about it, we've got clouds and showers, some those at times steady over the next 24 hours or so, but this cold front will roll through and clear us out. Certainly a cool down from west to east across the province for tomorrow. Setting up for a cooler Saturday, but not half bad. We'll at least be into the high single digits across the island. Now, for Saturday, again, this was the system that was supposed to be moving up, trucking through our neck of the woods, some rain, maybe some snow mixing in, but an area of high pressure now diving in is going to keep that off to the south. We will have this little trough line to contend with a couple of spits, a few showers possible for Mother's Day, but overall it's looking very quiet. Into Labrador, we will watch this next system rolling in from Monday into Tuesday with a bit of snow mixing to rain and some showers into the Tuesday time period for Newfoundland, and then back again on Wednesday. So a bit of an unsettled pattern for the Tuesday-Wednesday time period of next week, but Monday looks okay, and again Sunday is looking a lot better. And as I said, Saturday is certainly still the pick of the weekend, although a little bit cool and breezy, but overall a pretty nice one. And temperatures riding that seasonal marker, at least not too far off. Now into Labrador, again, we are talking about temperatures certainly cooler than where they should be for this time of year, but rebounding closer to seasonal in Happy Valley Goose Bay by Monday. That's your forecast to now.
Well, back to our top story. 23-year-old Alex Seymour from Mount Pearl has pleaded guilty to videotaping 3 of his female co-workers at Good Life Fitness. Seymour put an iPod in the offices where the women changed and caught them in various states of nudity. Today, 2 of his victims were in court, and they spoke with Here Now's Glenn Payat about the impact this has had on their lives.
I think at first it was a lot of disbelief because it was somebody that I trusted, I cared about, somebody I considered a friend. And in the beginning, I honestly blamed myself, thought that I had accused the wrong person, and it couldn't be. So it was a lot of weird feelings, to be honest.
And how about now, the impact on your life?
I don't trust my own judge of character now. When I meet people, I second guess what their intentions are. I'm a lot more private than I ever used to be. And yeah, I think that it's just, I don't feel safe in a lot of environments that you would naturally feel safe in before. I typically would always think the best of everyone, and I don't think that all the time anymore, and that's upsetting.
Sherry, can I ask you what you thought about today's sentencing hearing, what the Crown's asking for and what the defense are asking for?
I felt that there was blame put on us. To say that he was in a place of opportunity to do something like that. I have 4 beautiful boys at home, and I would never, ever expect either one of them to even think that they have the right to do something like that, no matter where they are. You can't even take pictures at the pool with your children anymore. We were at work. We were somewhere where we're told that we're safe on a daily basis. This man or child came into my home while my husband and I were gone because we trusted him that much to take care of things for us while we were on vacation. And for her, a woman, to get up and say that it was a crime of opportunity, that he made a bad decision, that was not a bad decision. That was planned, and that was done just the way he wanted it to be done.
And what's the impact been on you now?
Very similar to Jess. I don't trust very easily anymore. Like I said in my victim impact statement, I tend to have days where sometimes I don't want to get out of bed, and sometimes I don't know why. When I did eventually tell my children, because they do know now, their response after their sadness for me was, no wonder you've been so mad sometimes and just not yourself. They knew something was wrong for a long period of time, and I just didn't have the stomach to tell my 4 beautiful boys that something like this happened to their mom.
Seymour is back in court on May 28, and that's when he'll be sentenced by Judge Jacqueline Brazel.
Now, along with deciding if Seymour will go to prison, by law, Judge Brazel must place him on the sex offender registry for either 10, 20 years, or perhaps even life.
All right, so you guys are getting off easy tonight. No guesses as to the location of this picture. We're just going to give it away because we're a little low on time, and we want to show you the picture and have lots of time to talk about it. So it comes to us from Woody Point, and hopefully,
nice spot.
Hopefully this picture will load. And if it doesn't,
Woody Point. I think I know what we're going to see.
Oh, there it is.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was sweating there. Windy day at Woody Point. That's Einstein. And Alicia sent this picture.
It's not often you see a koala bear out at Woody Point. I gotta get my glasses clean. That's a beautiful
Is that so
shot.
windy his ears or her ears are blowing?
Sweet.
And there's so much going on. I love of course, the mountains in the background and the asperitus clouds in the sky, and of course the wind, and then a nice looking pooch.
Yeah, beautiful dog. Big hockey game tonight, you mentioned.
Yeah, enough time for you to plug the game. It's Game 7 is always exciting, so it's
9:30 in Nashville, Game 7, and for those of you who are Ice Cap fans, of course, Connor Hellebuck in nets. So go Jets.
For Winnipeg. See you tomorrow.
Good night.